Okay, I'm gonna start a daily discussion or statement called "Making Sense Out of Nonsense." There's a lot of controversy surrounding Donald Trump and the Russians, and it is consuming a lot of tax dollars. It's consuming a lot of time, a lot of resources, and a lot of people's mental energy going into, did Donald Trump collude with the Russians? Did he fire Comey because of this and this and that? And it blows my mind because it makes me wonder, do people ever stop to use common sense concerning this? Now, I know it's the job of the media to try to convince everyone that there's some deeper conspiracy, but why not just think practically? Why not just use common sense? For example, Hillary lost because she was garbage. It is common nature for anybody who loses anything to make excuses. I've never seen anyone lose in anything and just say, you know what, I just got flat beat. Most of the time it's, yeah, well, I wasn't training real hard and I was tired, I had this cold all week and blah, 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 blah. Instead of, I just got my butt beat. Secondly, when you look at the people who are putting out all of this propaganda, why would you assume that the liberal media, who was proven to have colluded with the Hillary camp prior to her running, and also was dead wrong about Donald Trump? He made them look silly, and he also used billions of dollars of advertisement because they couldn't lay off covering him. So he pimped them in a sense. He used all of their advertisement to get elected, whether it was negative or positive coverage. And then to top it off, everything that they said he couldn't or wouldn't do, he did. So they look stupid, and the Democrats look stupid, and you wonder why they have derived at this crazy, wild conspiracy and have teamed up to attack Donald Trump. Does anyone think for a second that they're going to give him fair coverage? Has anyone stopped to just think logically, what would be the motive of attempting to attack Donald Trump in the manner that they have? Nobody talks about that. Nobody thinks logically and say, what is the source of all of this negative information? Is it an innocent, non-biased source, or are these sources of people who have proven to hate Donald Trump and will continue to hate him and do anything they can to get him out of it? Number three, another attempt for me to make sense out of nonsense. Donald Trump, they are trying to suggest that he colluded with the Russians to get elected. And I wonder sometimes if the people who are pushing this, including the media, really believes it, or are they aware that, okay, we're in collusion? I mean, I wonder, do they huddle up and say, all right, this is how we're going to attack it? Or do they really get up in the daytime or the morning and say, you know what, I really believe there's something there? Because it sounds completely outrageous to any practical thinking person. But when you're bombarded by subliminal information, by political information, by media information suggesting that there's a possibility, then a weak-minded person perhaps could start to go, yeah, that does sound kind of... But any practical thinking person that has any logic would say that sounds absolutely ridiculous. So what they're trying to tell me is that Donald Trump is a puppet of Putin. Now, here's the question. Just think about this. Let's run through this for a second, y'all. What can you give a man that has everything? Nothing. So Donald Trump, who was happy with his life, has a family, billionaire, businesses all over the place, decides one day, you know what? I'm going to now, in my old age, become a secret mole in the United States government for Vladimir Putin. I am worth billions of dollars. I have power, I have influence, and I'm going to put all of that at risk to run for president, which could only hurt me, not help me, because after all of the scrutiny and all of the negative press that comes from this, they're going to ruin my name, ruin my brand, run me through the garbage, run me through the muck and the mire. My family's going to be attacked. I'm going to put up my own money at risk to win this candidacy, all because I want to be a puppet of Vladimir Putin. That right there blows my mind. But not only, let's go a little further. Then, once it all starts to come out, I'm going to do stuff in the open to cover it up. Meaning, I know that all of these crazy conspiracies are going around about me and Vladimir Putin and the Russians. So what I'm going to do is fire the FBI, the head of the FBI who is investigating it in an attempt to cover it up. Openly fire him. I'm not going to sit and bring him in and say, buddy, look, let's have a little conversation, man. Tell you what, I keep you on if you let this go. If you just sweep this whole, investigation under the rug. I ain't going to bring him in and say, look, if you go out and you do this, we're going to have you killed. I'm going to do the dumbest thing, which is piss him off by firing him. Because I'm totally aware that I'm guilty of working with the Russians, and I know that he knows that. So instead of trying to shut him up, I'm going to go and poke the bear by firing the bear and saying, now, not only am I going to fire you, I'm going to blast you on public and say that you were a garbage FBI agent that would surely make you be quiet and not talk about the Russian thing, right? No, that would only make you say, you know what? I'm about to tell the media, Congress, everybody, this guy is guilty. He did A, B, C, D, and E, F, and G. So where is the logic? Where are the practical thinking people who are able to put 1 and 2 together and say, this sounds absolutely nuts? And when you look at the hysteria and the overreaction on TV from the Democrats and the media, they look completely unhinged, stupid, dumb, emotional, and all they do is try to drum up suspicion. They try to emphasize fear, death, destruction, all of these things over the top. They are always OT, over the top. They can never come in at a very calm, non-emotional level and say, let's see what happens. And that's what makes them look dumb. And that's what also makes them look completely out of touch with the rest of America. And that is why they contributed to Hillary Clinton losing the campaign, because they pushed all of this stuff that the Democrats seem to have taken such an interest in that cannot relate and does not relate to the common people. And they made it seem like everybody thinks like this. We're all progressive in our thinking. We're all so liberal. And these small select few of Americans have this limited mind frame and they are deplorable. Not realizing that a whole heap of Americans think like what Donald Trump was saying made sense. And that is why they went out and voted. And the more that they're in the media pushing stupid stuff like this, taking up time, being obstructionists, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to make Americans who look at this stuff and say, y'all sound stupid, dumb, emotional, bitter because you lost, throwing temper tantrums, and have absolutely no message. All you are doing is simply saying Donald Trump's a bad guy, he does bad things, and hey, you should hate him because we hate him, he's a crook, he's a thief. And yet there is overwhelming evidence that your party is so corrupt, but yet you're trying to get us to believe that Donald Trump is just the all-out Hitler. All you're going to do is either make him a martyr by attacking him over stupid stuff like this, or cause the next election to repeat what happened this election, because all we're doing is looking at this stuff and saying, y'all sound stupid and look stupid. And when I hear people support some of these crazy conspiracy theories, I say they sound stupid. Now, is this a dangerous thing? Yes, because people with power have the ability to create narratives that can influence people. And that's the sad part about it. They talk about this being a coup, what Donald Trump did. I'm going, no, it's a coup when you have government officials attempting to overthrow an elected president because you don't like him and he's a virus that's been injected into your system that has operated smoothly for centuries. And now all of a sudden, somebody who is totally anti-system, don't play by any of your rules, are now in power and you can't take it. And you're going to do whatever you can, whether it be legal or illegal, to get him out of there. So I encourage everybody watching this video, first of all, I encourage the media to stop belittling the intelligence of the United States citizens. We see what you're doing. We know what you're up to. I encourage the Democrats to take note that when it's time for elections and we start considering how you have reacted to all of the citizens that voted for Donald Trump and expect him to do the things that he promised he would do, when we see how you reacted, that is not going to bring us to your side. That's going to make people say, that is why I'm not voting Democrat. And trust me, I'm not even a Democrat or a Republican. But when I see the way that the Democrats are reacting, it would be very, 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 very hard for me to even consider voting Democrat, because this behavior shows me the mentality of the Democrats, and it reveals all of the secret, hidden motives, attitudes, and behaviors of the Democrats based on how they have reacted to them getting their butts beat during this last election. So, think logically, people. Try to make some sense out of nonsense, if you can.